Hey, hello. Wow. Look at this. You're on the stage. Amazing, bro. Anything could happen here, couldn't it? Birthdays, everything's. We made it to June, people. I know, I never saw that coming. Fucking hell. And I have kept my New Year's resolution. Not to have any more children this year. I'll take that man's number. But do you know what though? I've just realised, even if I got pregnant right now, I'm still going to keep my resolution, because by the time, 9 months, isn't it? Yes, I did maths. It's going to be 2019. And when it comes to children, you don't need to think about the future. I don't know why I'm so paranoid. I've only got one. I've got one child. It's not like I'm overflowing or anything. But she's five. And the biggest thing that's happened to me since becoming a parent is that it's made me very forgetful. Just the little things like who the father is. Actually, that's not strictly true. I do have my suspicions. Which is why I've gathered you all here tonight. And my little daughter came out wearing a big old wristwatch and no hair on her head, so it could very easily be you. What's your name? Jeff. Also my daughter's name. Coincidence? I don't think so. Very nice to meet you again, Jeff. Are these some of your other family? Is it another daughter? How lovely! How absolutely lovely! We should have a reunion. So, your little sister, she's just started a new school, right, over in West London. You should come and visit, all of you. And fucking hell, the names that people give their kids in Shepherd's Bush. I mean, I should be careful. I don't know what the demographic is here. I mean, maybe some of you people have got names too. But she's in a class with a girl called Minnie, who's got a little brother called Maxie. It's like, hello, tampon family. What were these people thinking? Fucking hell. Every time I see those kids, I get a cramps. It's nuts. It's nuts. And she sits next to a boy called Oberon. It's a bit grand, isn't it, for a 5-year-old? Oberon. But it kind of makes sense, because when you get to know that little boy, he is actually the king of the goblins. But the worst one is Mimosa. Yeah, that's child abuse, right? Mimosa. How drunk do you have to be to name a child after a breakfast cocktail? You know what I mean? It's Prosecco and fruit juice, isn't it? Which coincidentally are the names of the twins in year 2. Poor little fruit juice, he never gets picked for the football team. Oh, but you know, the kids have got such crazy names, all of them have got these wacky names. So it's very difficult to figure out which ones to bully. I know that's not really my remit, but I do try to, guide my daughter in what's right and wrong, in the absence of a father figure. So, but when she was a baby, I had a whole list of crazy names, but I resisted because I didn't want her to get picked on. Of course I wanted to call her Bombay Sapphire. Of course I did! But I held back. And it's backfired, though, because she's now surrounded by children called Tarpaulin and Frangipani. And she's the odd one out, because I picked for her the most boring, run-of-the-mill name that I could think of. And you should see the looks that I get when I introduce her. I say, this is my daughter, Jeff. It's a shit name, mate. I can't believe you let me talk me into it. Fucking hell. Jeff, what's your name? Kate. See, that is a sensible name. Have you always... He picked that one. Yeah. Filthy bastard. Oh, God. So I'm wearing flip-flops tonight. Yeah. Hope it doesn't offend anyone. It's a political act, isn't it? Wearing flip-flops. It's like a big up yours to the man, but with your toes, isn't it? Just with your toes. I don't like my feet to be contained, because I think my feet are probably the most expressive part of my body. They're certainly the dirtiest, if you remember. But the good thing about your old, the flip-flops, right? You can always retrieve a drink, can't you? A spilt drink with flip-flops, because it's still, even post-Brexit, considered all right, acceptable to lick gin off your own foot flesh, isn't it? But somehow it's still frowned upon to suck it out of a sock. So, oh dear. Ooh. You're a nice young lady. Would you call yourself a feminist? You would, but you have to pause first in case somebody hurts you, don't you? People are very scared of using this terminology, so sometimes I try and soften it and I just say, I'm a terrorist. And people seem to find that less threatening. You could try that. But don't worry, I don't give a shit about feminism. I only care about myself. And to a lesser extent, my daughter. But I don't like, what I do not like is the stereotypes that get put on us, like things like that women can't park. We can fucking park, can't we? Yeah. Yes, we can park. When can we park? Earlier. Obviously I can fucking park. Otherwise, I'd still be in my car now, wouldn't I? I can park. Why then does my neighbour feel the need to call his wife to the window? Linda, come and have a look at this. She's doing it again. Linda, look. Every single time I start reversing into his vehicle. Because he's a prick. There have been 0 fatalities. Human ones, anyway. That poor little dog. I've had a lot of problems with my car. And in general. A lot of problems with cars all my life. It started off with my driving instructor, Keith. Yeah. Think you've met him? Yeah. What a can of dicks that man was, man. Jesus. Do you know what? He used to smoke cigars in the car and he wouldn't let me open the window. Now, this tells you how long ago that was. I mean, it's a design classic, isn't it? The old J-Reg Nissan Micra. But it was like the car was full of smoke. It was like hotboxing with a man 3 times my age. I wouldn't do that now. Although, do you know what? If I could find an 111-year-old who was up for it, I probably would, because I've never seen a man die. Oh. And he used to, he's smoking his cigars, he used to take his shoes off in the car, right? And his feet would just get everywhere. And the stench of the socks and the smoke, it was like yellow fingers, white socks. That would have been his Native American name. Should he have ever needed one? Running engine. Do you know that? Do you know that phrase? When... Oh, what the fuck is the phrase? I don't seem to know the phrase either. Those who can, teach. And those who can't... No, that's wrong, isn't it? Those who can, do. And those who can't, teach. Right, have you heard of that? But it can't be true for driving instructors, can it? I mean, the very basic requirement is that they know how to drive. Surely. But why then did they sit on the passenger side? Lazy, that's why. I just think that some of them seem to be using it as a way to get paid for running errands. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember, like, about 4 lessons in, we were cruising down the high street, about 7 miles an hour. I felt like Lewis Hamilton, a princess. It was like 0 to 12 in 60 minutes with Keith. And he goes, pull over. And I was like, pull over? I don't know pull over. I know straight on. And I know, no, not like that. That's roundabouts. Lesson 3. He goes, pull over outside this chemist. I need to top up my angina medicine. I was like, fuck off, Keith. Thanks for telling me. Do you know what I mean? If you have a heart attack, don't expect me to get you safely to the hospital. Because I am well over the limit. You know. I was 17 years old. It was the 1990s. We were all off our faces on Acid House. So he never fucking... He left me. He got out as best he could without his Zimmer. But he left the keys in the ignition. I could have just driven off on my own, you know, if he'd ever fucking taught me anything. But he never taught me the manoeuvres. The day before the lesson, I was like, Keith, please, will you just teach me how to reverse round a corner? Little did I know how useful that manoeuvre was going to come in later on. But he fucking turned on me. He started, like, jabbing his cigar at me, and he went, don't you tell me my job, you cunt. And it was scary, but at the same time it was kind of reassuring because it showed that he understood it was a job, you know, and I wasn't just his unpaid carer. Anyway, so in the end, miraculously, I passed. Yeah, 10 years later with BSM, they're a very good company. And I think there's just one thing that I'd like us all to learn from this, and that is, don't learn to drive with your dad. That's my advice to you, Katie. Have you, give us a cheer if you smoke. See, you can't cheer properly because your lungs are fucked. If you want to give up, here's my tip, because it's a habit. It's you have to replace it with another habit, a harmless habit. So now, every time I get the urge for a cigarette, I just slap a child instead. And I actually get more pleasure from that, with none of the guilt. The hardest time is in the evening, though, isn't it? Because you have to wake them up out of their little beds. But I'm down to 10 a day now. So that's good. Just have to remember to stop stubbing them out with my feet, though. Well, I hope I haven't been too negative about parenthood, because it's a wonderful thing, isn't it, Jeff? How many more are there? I remember the first time I saw my little daughter's face. I looked at her and I thought, you are the nicest person who's ever been inside me. Sad, really. Sad, really, isn't it? Of course, that could all change tonight. Happy birthday! Thank you very much. You've been absolutely lovely. My name's Caroline Mabey. Good night.